Alright guys, welcome back to another exciting tutorial. So right now we want to create another project, and that thing is I want to create another project. Like, okay, that thing is, I will do our things, go to Python, and we have to rename it this time around. So we'll give it another topic called what built-in data type. Alright, so what are built-in data types? Then Python has basically three main data type, and that is float, int, and string. So let me just do this. So let's take for instance now let me use markdown, and I will do our things, and I'll say main. Okay, let me say main data type in what Python. We have integer, we have float, and we have string. All right, so okay, so I just want to ensure that thing I explained the other time, I want to make use of it. These are what will make you understand what I've been saying so far. All right, now let's create a new cell. Okay, so you want to make it look smaller, you can add more hash to it. All right, and don't forget that you have to make this thing to be closer. All right, okay, good. So now what is integer? Let's say for instance x is equals to 25. This is an integer. So now, and if you want to say x and y is equals to 3.142, that means this is float. And if you want to say string, let's say a is equals to area 2 Bangbushi Street. Let's say for instance you want an address. All right, so we look at these three things. This is string, and this is what float, and this is number. So one thing I want to explain right now to you, that sometimes you might want to Python automatically help you to determine the type of what data, so you don't need to be specifying. All right, so but there's one thing I want you to know, there's a particular method that you can use to confirm what type of data type is this. So what we call that particular method an inbuilt method, a method that comes with Python. Okay, so if you want to know what type of data we have in there, we'll use what's called type. All right, but before that, let's print out this. So if you want to print out this, you use a particular method. So method perform a specific task in programming language. That is it. I don't want to say much about that. Don't worry, as we move on you understand what I mean. So let's create a new cell. All right, it's good. So let's say print. Let's say we want to say print, open and close brackets, and you have this particular thing is a follow call method. Is an inbuilt method that comes with Python. All right, and what does it do? It helps us to print out anything with type a variable or probably a statement. So let's have a in there. So by the time I put a, this is a variable, that means it's not going to have code because it is a variable. Anytime you are putting a print, a variable inside a print, it's not going to have a code. So let me run this. Okay, we're having an error, something happened. Let's check it out. Okay, name a is not defined. Okay, let's hold on and check out what exactly is going on. All right, I think I fixed it right now. So what I did is that I ensured that it is inside the same cell. Sorry, I forgot. You have to ensure that this print is inside the same cell that you define the variable. So when I delete it, you can delete a cell like this. I just delete it like this, and I ensure that I make sure that print is inside a single cell, and I hit on run, and it gives me what I really want. So okay, so fine. Now if it is y that you want to deal with, let's say you copy this y, you paste it in there. Okay, and you want to print that y too, you say print open and close bracket, and you say okay, y, I want to print y right now. It shouldn't give us an issue. So by the time you do that, you can see you have your 3.142. Okay, let's say for instance that you want to print what let's create a new cell. Let's say for instance you want to So I want to delete the cell. I want that cell to be under. Okay, let's say for instance you have this and you want to print it as well. You have to print and okay, you want to print and then you just say X. All right, so let's run it. But if it gives us 25, but what if you want to know whether this particular A is true through a string? So all you have to do is just to say, hi, my name is Fash, I want to print and confirm whether that X is what 8 and it's a string. So you use another method called type. Okay, use another method called type. So by the time you say type, you just put that variable inside it. You know, the first print is to just print out something. That's what it does. But the second method is to confirm what type of variable, what type of data type, what type of data are we having, sorry, inside a variable A. Okay, so by the time you run it, you can see it tells us that it's string. Okay, so let's print again. Let's get used to it. Simple. Type, and you say open and close bracket, and you just type what? Let's say type X. Or before that, let's see what's gonna happen. You can see it gives us an integer, and at the same time I want to say print, because I've actually declared it and run the code at the top, so it's saying it. So okay, so let's say print, and I say type, and I say and I say X. You can say it gives me integer. So okay, so but if this one is Y, sorry, if this one is Y, it's gonna give me what? Float. You can see it gives me float. So you understand the concept of data type, and you understand how to verify what type of data you are using. What if you want to change one data type to another? Let's say you want to change integer to float, you want to change float to what? Integer, you want to change string to float. How can we do that? That is where typecast really comes in. So what are typecasts? So typecast is when you are converting one data type to another. So what am I saying in next sense? So let me create another cell, and I say I just say float. Let me say int. I just say open and close bracket. This particular thing, it helps us to convert any variable to integer. Let's say what type of integer do we have before? I think we have Y. So if you now put Y inside this place, okay, and you say okay, you want to print, okay, let's say you want to print Y, by that time, that means Y is automatically changing from being a what? From being an integer to what? From being an integer, for float to integer. Okay, so what I'm saying in essence is this. Okay, if you say print open bracket, because int open bracket Y, you can see you have 3. It's converted to what? An integer. So you can easily say okay, fine, it's converted to an integer for you. So if you want to know the type of what, if you want to later know the type of what, the type of integer, again, it's going to tell you that integer is no more string, but is what? This is no more float, but is now an integer. All right, good. So let me say print, and I say type, I just put what? Y there. It's going to tell me that Y is no more what? Float, but is now what? It's no more, sorry, okay, let's declare it again. Okay, let's declare it again. Okay, to make it more very well explanatory, let me create a markdown. So let me just say okay, let's say let's do it this way, and let me make it 4. Okay, make it 4. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it this way. Let me just okay, I just do it this way. I use hash because I just want to explain some things to you, so that All right, so when you use this, it means you are converting a string of float to an integer. So when you use this particular for loop method, I call it for loop, you use you are converting integer or string to float. And when you use this, that means you are converting is probably integer or float to string. So let's now take, for instance, now I will have to do this. I'll create a new cell so that you will understand it very much better. You know that I have this value before. Let me copy it from the top so that the code is not going to get you confused. Okay, let me copy the code and scroll down, paste it in there. You understand that we have this value, right? So let's now take, for instance, now you understand how to use print. Okay, let's now take, for instance, you are creating a new cell and you are saying, okay, fine, x, which is equals to what? 25, that we all know. X, which is equals to 25. You now say you want to convert this to, probably you want to convert it to string. Now say str. Then I say x. So if you want to print this again, you know, we normally use type to know the type of data type, like the type of data. Okay, so anytime you put x again, it's going to tell you that this thing is no more what? Integer, but it has been converted to string. Okay, let's run it. Can you now see it has been converted to string? The same thing goes with what? If you have what? Probably y, just copy and paste, just say y, and you say you want to convert that y to integer, int, which is this. All right, that means I say, okay, print type what? So I want to know the type of data. Okay, this thing is going to be converted from string to integer. You know, this thing is supposed to be a float. It's going to be converted from float to integer. Let's run the code. Let's run this code. This one, you can see it has been converted to integer. The same thing goes with a. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it in there. So I'm going to say a. I want to convert a to what? Probably let's say float. Okay, so that means a is going to be converted from this normal string and you're going to see float. All right, let's run the code. Oops, something goes on. What happened? Okay, I print y, so this is supposed to be a. Sorry, let me run the code. Oh, sorry, I can delete it if I like. Sometimes intelligence of Jupyter does that. So let's just delete it so that you're not going to have. Okay, and there's a is equals to float a. So okay, what happened? I think we are still having some couple of error, maybe my spelling or something. A is equals to float. Okay, could not convert string to float area to. Okay, what happened? It could not convert float to string. Okay, let's see the reason why. Okay, all right, what I noticed is that, okay, fine, the reason why you're unable to convert is that because this is too long and float is always being seen as number, so it is finding difficult to convert all these things to number that we can be used, that we can make use to calculate. So let's have another idea. So let's say d is equals to 25. You know, because this is in quote, so, and it is not too plenty, it is all together, so it's, you know, it can be easily converted to what? It can be easily converted to float if you want this. So okay, by the time you say d and you say we should print d, we say you should print type, we should print type d, this can be easily converted because it's a single word, it's all together and it looks as if it's number. But this is too long, float will not be able to do some basic calculations if you convert it to float eventually. So this string can be converted to float, and by the time I do this, and let me hit on run, and you can see it has been converted to float. Okay, this is what I'm actually going to stop for now. The video is too long. I just wanted to practice it along and all over again, and in the next tutorial we are going to take a look at what is called variable scope. Okay, so scope of variables. All right, until then, I'll see you and have fun. Bye.